Monday Night Raw starts off with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. They was in the ring. Cody ends up asking, what does Roman have to gain from all of this, which I found very confusing. But Roman ends up explaining. He ends up saying that he was already in this situation way before Cody, which he was. And then he ends up mentioning also that half the team is his family, his bloodline. So he's going to help his family, help his bloodline, because that's one thing that he does not play around about. Then we end up getting CM Punk. He comes out. He ends up. He says a few words. He ends up mentioning Cody because Cody ends up mentioning that it was his team. CM Punk didn't like that. Roman intervenes. Basically, ends up saying that he doesn't like neither of them. He doesn't care who team it is. All that they need to know is that he hates the Vision and he hates everyone on he hates everyone on the heel team more than he hates CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, and that he has his word has his word that basically that he's on their side. He's gonna do whatever it takes, basically. Then he ends up alluding to one of them holding their world titles, and ends up saying that one of their championships would look way better on him. He was alluding to CM Punk, but CM Punk pretended like he didn't know, but he was clearly staring at CM Punk when he said it. And then walked off. So they could be teasing potentially a world title match between either Cody and Roman or Punk and Roman, which I wouldn't mind either way. I wouldn't mind getting Roman and Cody part 3, but I also wouldn't mind getting Punk and Roman for the world title as well. So we'll see how this all plays out. But nonetheless, it was a fine opening segment nonetheless. Um, the men's War Games match should be very fun. I'm assuming the men babyface team will win most likely, but nonetheless, it should be a fun match. Afterwards, we end up getting the most entertaining thing on the show, Carmelo Hayes versus Gunther. Last time is now tournament match. This was a really great match. This was a great match. Really enjoyed it. They did a great job making Carmelo look strong, making him look believable, and potentially winning. But we all knew the outcome of this match. We all knew Gunther was going to win this match. I didn't get my hopes up. I knew Gunther was going to win. So it pretty much looked like Gunther is going to win the last time it's now tournament, because looking at the bracket, the only people left are Solo, Rusev, if I'm not mistaken, and then LA Knight versus a mystery opponent. So yeah, Gunther is going to win. He's going to retire John Cena, which I'm not mad at. I just wouldn't pick Gunther because, like I said, I just don't. I just don't think this elevates Gunther. I don't really think this really does anything for him. The match should be great because I think I know what type of style. They're probably going to have Gunther dominate majority of that match. They're probably going to do something similar to like the CM Punk and Gunther match, but this time Gunther actually wins because John Cena is not winning his last match. He's definitely going to lose. So they may just do something similar to that, like what they did at SummerSlam with Punk and Gunther, where was it at SummerSlam? Yeah, I think it was at SummerSlam. Yeah, it was at SummerSlam, if I'm not mistaken, where Gunther just completely dominates CM Punk for majority of the match, but instead of CM Punk making a comeback, they're going to have Gunther actually win the match. That's why I'm assuming that they're going to go. But nonetheless, Gunther isn't a terrible option. He just wouldn't be my pick. I would have either had someone from NXT like Obafemi come out and be the one to enter this tournament, in my opinion. But I understand they have other plans for Oba, so I get it. So nonetheless, but Gunther's going to win, and I don't think it's a bad choice, but I just would have went with him because I just don't think this does anything for him. But he isn't a terrible option. We get the women's War Games. We get the heels. They come out. We get Becky Lynch, Lash, Nia Jax, Kabuki Wars. They come out. And you get Becky Lynch basically rambling on. She ends up mentioning her Intercontinental Championship. She ends up mentioning that Maxine Dupree, mentioning that she got screwed and that she got cheated and that she got lawyers on it and that they're gonna have her get her championship match due to her being cheated. Then she goes one by one, trying to hype up each member of the heel War Games team, but being very condescending at the same time. This heel Becky Lynch character is fucking hilarious. I love her. This is easily the best work of her career in my opinion. I love this version of Becky Lynch. She is so funny without trying to be funny. Then you get the babyface War Games team. They come out. You get AJ Lee, Charlotte, Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky. AJ basically rambles on the mic and basically ends up saying that Becky Lynch lit a fire in her and that now she's going to be able to fight Becky in a cage, yada, yada, yada. And then we get Rhea Ripley. She was about to cut a promo, and then they all just brawl. The baby faces stand tall. This was a okay segment. This segment did drag on a bit, mainly due to AJ Lee. I didn't really like AJ Lee's promo. Now, I understand this is something AJ Lee has always done, but it's very cringe like. It was cringe back then, but it was a lot more forgiving, mainly due to the talent of women they had back then. But now, since we have so much talent on the roster, things have changed since the last time she's been here. The way she cut promos is it's very cringe for me. I'm just gonna be honest. It's very uncomfortable and cringe. She does a lot of weird facial expressions, and she over exaggerate her words a bit. Now, facial expressions and stuff isn't bad. It just depends on how you do it and when you do it. Like Roman. Roman does it, but he typically does it when he's like angry and frustrated. She just does it whenever. Now, I get that's something she's always done, but now for me personally, now that I'm older, it comes out very cringe. Like, now I get she does it on purpose. I understand why she does it, but for me, it just comes out very cringe, like, and very weird in my opinion. It just made the promo felt very weird, if I'm going to be honest. But nonetheless, babyface stand tall during this brawl, which I expected. Interested to see how. Well, I'm not really interested because we know the babyface teams are winning. The heels are just not going to win. They haven't won it forever. So babyface teams are most likely going to win at War Games. But nonetheless, let's just hope it's a great match. Now moving on to Solo versus Penta. Last time is now a tournament match. Unfortunately, Penta did suffer an injury during this match, hitting I think he hit like a hurricanrana on the outside off the barricade. Unfortunately, he is injuring himself, so unfortunately, they couldn't finish the match. So Solo ends up picking the victory. Very unfortunate that we couldn't see this match unfold, but also very unfortunate that Penta is injured right now. Let's hope that it's nothing serious, nothing major. Hopefully, this is a very speedy recovery. That way, we can see Penta back in the ring, but also that he could do the thing that he loves, one of the things he loves the most, which is professional wrestling. We don't never want to see a wrestler get injured. Now, moving on to Solo, he's going to be facing Gunther next, which I don't think he's winning, but I do like his odds. Now, I don't think he's winning at all because I just have a hard time believing that we're going to put Solo in the fucking finals. I just have a hard time believing that. Now, he does have somewhat of an advantage due to him having the MFTs on his side, but by what I'm assuming, they're going to have the MFTs be very stupid and retarded and have Gunther outsmart them most likely, or they're going to make some dumb mistake by like accidentally attacking Solo or getting themselves not disqualified, getting themselves kicked out where they try to cheat but the ref catches it. That's probably what's most likely going to happen. That way Gunther don't lose for the most part. But nonetheless, we'll see how the match plays out. And I'm actually very interested to see how Gunther like competes with Solo, because Solo works a very slow style match. And Solo isn't bad in the ring, but he isn't that great either. He's more like okay. So I'm very interested to see how Gunther pulls that match off as well. We get the main event: Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul versus the Usos. Winner of this match get the advantage. They get the 2-on-1 advantage in War Games. The heels picked up the victory due to Logan Paul getting a pinfall over Jimmy Uso. He ends up getting a roll-up pin over him. Then you basically get both War Games teams brawl. It ends with Brock Lesnar being the last one to come out. They end up having an epic stare down, then they all brawl, and that's how we end Raw. Basically, they end up doing the same ending they did on last Monday Night Raw. Basically, nothing really to discuss here. But the last thing I do want to discuss is Maxine Dupree, because she didn't get much TV time here, but she did get some TV time. And she ends up getting some up and coming opponents. Ivy now approached her, mentioning the IC Championship, and Roxanne Perez also approached her as well. So it looks like they're giving some effort. Let's hope they actually, move forward with this, put some story behind it. And it looks like we're going to get Natalya back. So that's going to be very interesting. Hopefully they bring her her gimmick that she's been doing on the indie scenes to a degree. I hope they bring that gimmick. I don't know much about it, but I know a little bit about it, but I'm hoping that they bring, I think they call her like Bloodsport Natty or something like that. I hope they bring that gimmick. I do not want to see babyface Natalya. I do not want to see that. Please do not bring that. Bring the form that she's been doing in the indie promotion or whatever. Bring that gimmick. Please bring that. Okay? Don't drag this on either. Do not do this thing like you did with Nikki Bella, pretending to be her friend. And no. Forget all that. Okay? We need a story now. Just go ahead, make her pretend to be her friend for like the first 5 minutes or whatever, and then attack her in a backstage segment or in a promo. I don't care. But I think that's the reason why they're bringing her back. There's no reason to bring her back if you're just going to have her be your sidekick to Maxine Dupree. That's just dumb. So hopefully they bring her. To have that feud, you could run that for a bit. Then eventually you could run Ivy Nile, who haven't been on TV in forever, but they finally brought her back. And eventually Roxanne Perez could probably dethrone her as well, run that program as well. So it looks like we have some potential challengers for Maxine Dupree. And plus, this raised the question of who can actually dethrone her, because Maxine Dupree isn't the most credible person. So this leaves a lot of room for people to actually dethrone Maxine Dupree. Where like Becky Lynch, it was kind of like you expected a star to dethrone her, but the fact that they actually went with Maxine Dupree was very shocking. Where Maxine Dupree, you could really think anyone could kind of beat her, because like she isn't the most credible and she's still fairly new, so it's a lot more opponents that you could believe can actually beat her. So that's going to make the title round a lot more interesting in my opinion. But we'll see how this all plays out. Overall, this show, I'm going to be honest, it was very mid. I'm going to be honest. It was very mediocre. The only thing that was really interesting was really the Carmelo Hayes and Gunther match. But overall, you guys let me know your overall thoughts, opinions below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. But yeah, that's it.